Much has been said, and I'm working on the down part, which is like on the upper part, whereby they're developing all the mechanisms for the things to be implemented on the ground. I am a product from this, and I wanted to show you the time I was a student from this college, and that was in, I'm there. So maybe the book can just pass by, you will see. If you're able to recognize me, you will see me among the group there. That's the time I was at this institution. So, as the background is, I can say that before I went to this school, I was doing some other things at home, then I applied, and then I was enrolled, right? And the most important thing which I discovered myself was that after attending the teacher training course at this institution, which is awarded by DAB, which is a member of Humana. It's a different kind of teacher training that changed me holistically on how to work with the communities, because I'm coming from a different type of education system, whereby you here, I can say that you are having at least better standards, that at least teachers have got a less number of students in the class, but as in my case, there is a high enrollment at the primary school level, whereby one teacher is supposed to teach 100 children, a single person in one class. So as to begin with, you see this part of film whereby they are explaining about how the teacher training course is being done, and that book has got the program of the teacher training course for 2 years. That's how we are trained, and there is each and every week activity for us to cover, and then we usually measure ourselves to say, are we covering it or not? And it's full, full explanations on how best we are doing it. So each and every student is given that program book, and then we are following it and implementing it, and then by the end of 2 years, we are done. So that was I brought it for you to see, and I have mine at home, but I took it from where I'm living now, so that you can see. And as of now, we have changed the training system for the teachers. This was 2.5 years, and then we have now moved from 2.5 years to 3-year program, whereby the students are now studying for 3 years to become full, responsible, and have a wider knowledge on the ground for themselves to help the children to have a better understanding. So I think I'll proceed, then I'll come back later, and then you keep the questions so that you can ask us when we are done. Right? And then I'll come back with my presentation. That will be about Malawi, where I am coming from. I'm coming from Malawi. Malawi is a small country found in the African continent. I know that many people confuse, they always think that Africa is a country, but it's a continent, right? So, Malawi happens to be one of the countries in Africa. It's difficult to trace just because it's very small. It's in between big countries. Malawi became independent on the 6th of July 1964. That is when it became independent. And then we adopted this flag. This flag is black, red, green, with the shining sun that is coming. And there is a meaning on this one to say, we are coming out from darkness, and that's the dark side, and then the sun is bringing light to the country, and then the red part represents the blood of the people who shed it when they were fighting for freedom. Green, that's about the environment, and So you can see Malawi now in Africa continent, and I myself am coming from here. So I've moved all the way from here, coming to Europe for the first time. We are surrounded by Tanzania to the northeast, Mozambique from the eastern part, coming down to the west. And then we are having also part of the west covered by Zambia. And at one point in time, Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe were one during the colonial rule Zimbabwe was known as Southern Rhodesia, Zambia was known as Northern Rhodesia, and Malawi was known as Nyasaland. So we had like a collaboration working together because we were colonized by the same country, that is Britain. That's the map of Malawi. And in my country, I am coming from somewhere here. That's Blantyre, where there is the other city, and before the capital city moved to this one, the capital city was somewhere here. That is Zomba, the old capital city. So we are having some kilometers in total to be presented, and then the other part of the country is covered by the lake. Location, map of Malawi, and then Malawi covers an area of about 118,480 square kilometers. It is smaller and has a land of about 94,080 square kilometers, and the water bodies of Malawi covers an area of 24,400 square kilometers. The capital of the country is Lilongwe, and we got independent from Britain in 1964 and became republic in 1965. The economic status. Its economy depends mainly on agriculture, and it has a large rural population with 80%. Main agricultural products are tobacco, sugarcane, cotton, tea, potatoes, sorghum, and also we keep animals like cattle and goats. The main exports are cotton, tobacco, and tea. There are also mineral deposits like bauxite, uranium, and coal. In addition, the lake provides the different types of fish to the country because the lake has got what we call fresh water. It has got an inlet and outlet, so people can take the water for domestic use also from the lake. Just because it's not a salty lake, but it's a fresh lake without the salt in the water. The political status. The government of Malawi is a multi-party democracy since 1994. Ever since we got independent from the British rule, our country has been ruled by one-party system, and it was difficult for some other people to make some decisions based on what the government was doing. And then in 1993, the missionaries wrote a petition to the government to say that it should be a multi-party country whereby they should also listen to the views of the citizens. And then we had a referendum whereby the side of democracy was like now by the people to say we want a multi-party rule. So the president is both the chief of the state and the head of the government. He appoints 20 plus members cabinets. The judicial branch consists of Supreme Court of Appeal, a High Court, a Chief Justice appointed by the President, additional judges appointed on the advice of the Judicial Service Commission and Magistrate Courts. The legislative branch is made of National Assembly with 177 members elected by plurality vote from the single seat. And the constituencies for a 5-year term, the Senate contains 80 members, all elected local, or elected, I can say all elected. And we have local government consists of 30 districts. Under Malawi, okay, that's another point. People and the tribes. I'm a Malawian. Like I said, and in our country, I come from the south, and it's divided into 3 parts: the northern part, the central, and the south. So the people who are based in these regions, they have got their own language based on where they are coming from. But despite the fact that we are coming from, we are having different backgrounds where we moved from to make this country, we are speaking Chichewa as our mother language, because the Chichewa were the first people to find the central part and keep on moving with the country. So the other languages, the other tribes moved from South Africa, others came from DRC, and others came from Mozambique, like the tribes that are found in the lower part of Malawi. They are coming from Mozambique and came into Malawi in search of fertile land for cultivation, also for keeping of animals. So that's how we are made, and in total, the country has got 28 districts, and we are having 2 islands in the lake. That's Likoma Island and Chisumu Island. These are also part of Malawi. And our languages, like I said, mother language is Kichewa, and our national language is English, just because we got it from the England people, that's British people. Staple food. Malawi's staple food is nsima, which is made from corn flour. We make that flour from the corn, and then it's pounded to be like a flour form, like white stuff, and then we cook, and then we eat with relish like fish or meat and the like. We eat with hands. We don't eat knives or or spoons, no, but we eat with our hands. We wash our hands and then we eat. And there are also some sweet potatoes, Irish potatoes, and cassava, as well as yams. This is the crucial part: education system. Education in Malawi is under Ministry of Education, which controls the curriculum at all levels. And Malawi National Examination Board, MANEB, is the one that controls the examination in primary school, secondary school, and in the teacher training colleges. That means myself, I had to go through all these exams to go to the teacher training college and then to be qualified to become a teacher, to be working in the primary school, through passing the examinations prepared by this board. Once somebody fails, you cannot proceed. You are required to get that, So it deals with the primary, secondary, and teacher training college exams in Malawi. Early childhood is not compulsory in Malawi. We don't have many public centers for early childhood education. Many are private, and people pays up to $150 per term, up to $200. As 80% of Malawians live in the rural area, and those that are in urban areas are the ones having the opportunity. In areas where development aid from people to people, which is under Humana, is having their teacher training colleges, they are supporting the early childhood centers of over 80. That is, they are empowering the communities to establish, not coming with like a funding, but to empower them with funding. Right? I guess you understand. And then they are sustainable, which are like operated by themselves with the support they get. Primary school education in Malawi is free, and we have as well private primary schools that people pays up to $55 per term as a cheap one, but many are from $55 to $180 going upwards. The public and the private schools follows the government curriculum, except those that are following the Cambridge, that's the British syllabus. And in Malawi, free primary education was introduced in 1994. That was the time we moved from one-party system to multi-party system. That is a democracy type of government. So there was a high enrollment. That means the number of children in the schools skyrocketed to be a huge number, whereby the schools were not able to meet the needs of the children because the teachers were not enough. So the government put a mechanism on how to help the children who have come from nowhere coming to school. And that's when now they were taking people who were not eligible to be teachers by profession to help in that type of scenario. So people were just like employed along the road to say, do you want teaching? If you want, you can apply, or just take this way. People are being employed. So people were like living somewhere and coming, and the consideration was that those who have got the secondary school certificate, that's the Form 1, Form 2, the Form 4 certificate, they were the ones who were being employed. They did not have any teaching experience, right? And then they were just being considered that they have passed the secondary education and then they can help because they have that understanding since they have passed it through the same way. So they were being employed to be working in the primary schools as teachers. And then there was a mechanism that was put aside by the teacher education department that these teachers were moving from the schools during some holidays to go to a teacher training college for some orientations for some few weeks, and then they come back to the school as an ongoing process, which was known as a cohort. So they were going in phases, phase 1, 2, and 3, until they finished their courses. So even if they did that, but still more the number was high and then teachers were few. And this also contributed to the low standards of education in our country, because as those teachers were like teaching, they were really not able to present what was it all about. They can present to the children just because they had less knowledge on the ground. And then when they were like catching up, it was already like time was gone. So yeah, the government tried so many mechanisms to bring back the standards. In primary school, it is 8 years in primary school, and the last class, which is grade 8, children are tested with the national exams to qualify them for secondary school. At first, when we were being under British, we were having the national exams in grade 5, whereby you were given a certificate, then you proceed. But then it changed to be an 8 years, and children in primary school are starting with the 6 years. That's the national age range for somebody to come to grade 1 in a primary school in our country. He needs to be 6 years. So those who fail the exams, they repeat. That they remain in the same class for the other year until they pass the exams, because it shows that they did not get what was it all about, what they learned. So you should make it until you pass the exam so that you go to another class. Secondary school. It is for 4 years and has 2 sets of examinations. The first examination is at the second class. That is, you start with Form 1, and then you go to second year, which is known as Form 2. So in this year, you write the exams for the national, and then after you pass the exams, you proceed to the third year. When you fail, there is a tricky thing which is now being done here. When you fail the exams in this Form 2, you are sent back to the first class, that's the Form 1. Instead of repeating the same class, they say, no, go back and start again. So when somebody fails in Form 2, he is sent back to Form 1 as a foundation class to start again, so that he should catch up everything, and then he comes to the second class and then sit for the exams to proceed if he passes again. And the second phase of exams, that's national exams, comes in the last form, which is Form 4. And this one is the last in secondary school, which they provide the certificate, which is similar with O level or A level. And the system is the same, that it's 2 years, and then once you fail the exams, you are sent back to the previous class so that you start again all over, and then you proceed for the exams, and then once you pass, you proceed. And this one is the one that determines where you should go. And we are taking 8 subjects in some other schools, depending on the teachers, because the secondary school teachers in Malawi, there are not so many. Actually, we have got over 2,000 secondary schools, and we have got over 4,000 primary schools. Some are in the typical rural areas whereby the infrastructures are not many, but the children are also learning under a tree as a normal class. So once somebody has passed the exams in the Form 4 with good grades, like at national level, there are some selections that are done. And at first, it was like an automatic thing. If you're having the outstanding points, automatically the government was sending you to a certain university. That would be a public university, and the government will fund everything, and you just need to pay less amount of money. So at the moment, it's different. Everybody, like, once you have passed the exams, there is an aggregate line, like the bottom line, whereby the government said to say those people who have scored these grades, they are supposed to come and contest for the entry exams, because the universities are only few. The whole country, we are having only 6 universities. So it's like with the population, for the people to meet, like to go to the university, it's a competition. So all the people are coming to contest, that's to write the entry exams, and those who do well, based on what they are going to study, they are being considered to those different universities. So those who are like myself, I did not have a chance to go to the university. There was a second line, that is for going to the college. So I was meeting the requirements to attend the college, and then I went to this college, which is also under Humana as she presented, but we are following the government standard, because it's not that we are doing on our own, but we also follow the government standard and the systems for the government, for somebody to qualify to be working in the government system, the primary schools. So this is one of the universities. It's found in the old capital. It is known as Chancellor College. And this one I've just explained that once somebody has passed it, the grades are the ones that determines if he can qualify for going to the university or college, those that are public. We have got also private universities, but they are expensive, and some people are going to those universities based on how they are getting their resources to enable them to go. University, it is for free, 3 to 5 years, depending on what you are studying in the, and in the teacher training college, it is for 2 years, and the same teaching course, if it is to be done in a university, you will spend 4 years. I think it might be similar here. I don't know how many years people spend in the college for, in the university for, if they are studying to become a teacher. But in our country, when you are going to be a secondary school teacher, then you spend 4 years in the university. If you are going to be a primary school teacher like myself, then it's 2 years in college. The first year, you do the school-based, and then second year you go to the practical field, and then there is examinations in between so that they will qualify you. This is the part of the college again. I'm in university in the central. It's known as Chancellor College, and this is the Great Hall, which was built by the first president of Malawi. Now, back to a rural primary school. We have moved all over from there. Now I'll present about a certain primary school and how it is working. Background, this primary school was founded in 1986 by the community, and it was built by them. But the people who introduced were the missionaries, because the missionaries came in Malawi, and then as a way of teaching Christianity to the people, they were also teaching them how to read and write. So the community built the school, and the government took over in 1994. It is serving 6 villages. Children walk a distance of not less than 6 kilometers to this school, and some 4 kilometers, and there are some who are living close to the school, as it's a normal. So this is the signpost. If you come to Malawi, moving in one road, you'll be welcomed by this signpost. It says, "Welcome to Majega Ministry of Education, welcome to Majega Primary School." So from that where the signpost is to the school, it's very close. Teachers at this school. Total number of teachers qualified, those that are recognized like they are fully trained and working in government are 10. Males 5, females 5. There is a 50-50 here, which is also impressive. And we have got the unqualified. If we say unqualified, I mean those who are under training, but they are working at the school, helping the school to, in terms of teaching and doing whatever. There are 3 males and 11 females. And the school has got a total number of 423 boys, and the girls are 427. And the total number of classrooms, we have got 10. Apart from only government, the school has increased in terms of the classrooms. As I've said, there are 10 classrooms as of now. But at first, there were only 2 classroom blocks which were built by the community and the part of the church, that's the Christian part. Children were learning in the church. So, 2 years ago, the partnership came in, and then UNICEF came to construct school blocks for them and the teachers' houses. So, they become partnership with UNICEF, and there are also some well-known organizations that came with their support with another classroom block. That is the Stephanos Foundation, which is a Netherlands-based organization, and it's working in Malawi. And then we have got development aid from People to People, that's under Humana, which is also working with that school in terms of long-term projects. Like we are having a 3-year project, which is known as Ugdymo Teachers, which is aiming at improving the level of education through different intervention to the teachers. And it's a part of Solidarity School project. This is school as well. And then apart from those international, we have got community involvement. Community members help in sourcing the material for making the school to be still constructed. They are also in the forefront of supporting the school in providing firewood for the school feeding program which is being conducted at the school. It was discovered that in the rural setup, children are failing to go to school just because they are coming from poor families. And then when they go to school where they do not eat anything, education will not go further. And then they were like dropping out. And there has been interventions from different parties in the government schools based on what they found out in the schools. And then there is a program which is known as the school feeding program. So at this school, there is a school feeding program, and then the community members are coming with the support to make sure that they cook porridge for the children while they are at school. So if a child has left home without eating anything, she goes or he goes to school to get education, and then also he will be given the porridge so that he can continue learning without a problem. Matrix, I think this is all about the standard one. We have got 82 boys, girls, 126 total, 208. And this number is divided by 3, so as you can see, 3 teachers heading 208 children. I don't know how we can divide. It's a big number, right? And then it's grade 2, we have got 98 boys, 78 girls, 173, 2 teachers. And then grade 3, 67 boys, girls 70, total 137. These ones are 137 in total. We have given them 4 teachers. Why 4 teachers? Because the teachers are on training. So we want them at least to share time also of preparation to have at least a clear presentation of the lessons as they are going. So these who are like 2 and 3, they are qualified teachers who can be able to handle the large classes without a problem. And in grade 4, we have got 52 boys, 49 girls, 101, 4 teachers in teaching practice as well. 5, 38, and then 54 girls, 92, 4 teachers in teaching practice. This grade is a crucial part in our country. Why I'm saying so is because this is the transition period of primary school. All the subjects from grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3 up to 4, we teach any subject in our mother language, that is in Chichewa, apart from English. Right? So when they reach to this class, after passing exams to this, like finish the year, they come to this class. So all the subjects changes to English apart from Chichewa. So when they are here, they expect to find strange things because they are used to learn a lot of things in Chichewa. And then that's where the transition starts to grade 6, 7 up to 8. So in grade 6 we are having 50 plus 15, which is 65 for 2 teachers, and 7 we have 22, 28, and 20, 3 teachers, and the 17, 27, which is 44, only 2 teachers as well. So I think, as in our case, if we have to say the better off teachers who are like having a well-manageable class, no, I think here there was wrong calculation. It's supposed to be 50, not 20. And here, they are the ones who are better off because it's 44. And for them, they can manage. So, yeah, unless if there are some questions, based on what I've explained, and then I will show you, well, you should read this, it's in our language. Thank you very much, and thank you so much. It's Ziko Mugwambili in Chichewa. That's my language. So you can try to pronounce, it's the same as you pronounce. It's Ziko Mugwambili. And it's, thank you so much. And here, welcome to Malavio, home heart of Africa. Yeah, and then I'll show you a small video done by us at one school where a normal primary school day starts, the way how it starts. And then this teacher will explain how he does himself at the school and then how it works. Say hi.
My name is Flaxon Gumire. I'm the head teacher of this school. This school is Kachere 1, full primary school. This school started in the year of 1957. The first head teacher of this school was Mr. Milongo. Here at this school, we have 4 classroom blocks, which is making a total of 80 classrooms. And we have a number of learners who are taking their lessons outside the classroom. Other classes are taken by the student teachers. And these student teachers, we are following the system of 1 to 60 learners. So we want to assist these our students so that they can have a good number of learners in their class. Teachers, we have there are 11 qualified teachers, 6 males and 5 females. 8 ODL teachers, 6 males, 2 females, and 6 student teachers from DAV, making a total of 24 teachers here at this school. And the enrollment, as I said, it is high. We have 1,416 learners. 664 of them are girls, and 752 are boys.
Every day at 5 o'clock or half 4, mostly when I wake up, I make sure that the compound, the ground is swept and it's looking neat as it is looking now. When I wake up, mostly I play with this little chap of mine that my wife can do preparation of the breakfast and whatsoever without much difficulties. After that, I make sure that all the teaching resources, materials are ready. If I need a chart, I prepare a chart. If I need the teacher's guides and whatsoever, I make them ready for myself, preparing for work. Then I go take a bath. That's my bathroom. After taking a bath, I take breakfast every morning because it's important for my health. At 6:30, when I'm at work, I make sure that each and every learner who comes should sweep the school premises, that every place should look neat as my house looks. And those late comers, I'm the one also who mostly take control of them. If some come at late, there are strategies which we follow. For example, sometimes we just jot down their names, and by the end of the school, by the end of the day, they should do something, that tomorrow they should not come late again. But the very first thing is to sign the time book, which I sign at 6:30. 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Okay, let's start with an opening prayer. Stand there. 6. Arms forward. Sideways. Arms up. Bend. Up. Sideways. Forward. Backward. Arms on the back. Arms up. Clap hands once. Twice. 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. Once. Arms down. Okay. The class is always full. And these learners sit in trios. They sit 3-3 wherever they are, and they work in groups. They work in their trios. They can make clubs so that their work, their learning is made simple. Because alone they can't stand, but if they are united, they achieve a lot. We have 26 trios in this class. That means if I'm just to call a trio saying trio number 7 stand up, so all the members on that trio will stand up. For example, trio number 11 stand up. Trio number 11 members stand up. Those are the learners who are in that trio, and each and every learner knows that I'm belonging to this trio. Sit down, thank you.
This is called a warning spot, where they do display various activities for academic, education, and subcartoons. That is where the teacher displays each learner's performance. There are some assessment papers inside the cards. And that place, it is called a shopping corner, where learners come here and practice how they can buy things in the shopping corner. And here it is called a science corner. It is called a science corner. They show things by nature. They can show the eggs, the animals, everything which is by nature, provided by nature. That is where the teacher prepares some questions. They are called guided questions, so that the learners can go through the questions and answer them. That is why it is called a science corner.
This is one of the classes which is taking the lessons outside. So this is the normal class as the others are doing. So this is 24B as I have said. So this class is taking their lessons outside. We are lacking shelters here. We don't have enough rooms, but we are having a good number for learners.
Kemana jaga zangu Joseph?